Hello students, welcome to the YouTube channel of NEXT IAS. I am Anil Tiwari. We are back again with another session of daily news analysis. Today there have been some news in the newspapers, The Hindu and the Indian Express. We have picked and selected 5 articles for you, 4 in the prelim section, 1 in the main section. In the prelim sections, we will be covering climate change and agriculture, specifically focused on mangoes. We all love mangoes, and this year we have heard a lot of news that mangoes, the harvest has been delayed. There is a impact of temperature on the mango harvest or cropping. So we will discuss that. Then we will jump to the next article, that is new government that has been elected in Canada. What will be the impact of that on India? We will not go deep into India-Canada relations, but we will focus primarily on Canadian polity and Indian polity, the differences therein. Alright, third article will be on Digha's this West Bengal new Jagannath temple that has been inaugurated. What is the controversy around that temple and what have been said about its inauguration. We will also take a deep dive into the original Jagannath Puri temple and what is the importance of that temple. Then we will go on to discuss the Amazon's new Kuiper satellite system, which will be providing internet just like Starlink. We will discuss that, and then we will move on to the main section in which we will be discussing India's IPR policy and what are the issues regarding the watch list on which India has been put. So we will start with today's discussion. Alright. So the first article relates to the mango production. There is a good news for you that we all love mangoes, and we were hearing a lot of rumors that this year mangoes might not come as they used to come, and people were saying that the quality of mangoes is deteriorating. Earlier the mangoes were very good, very ripe, very tasty. Now they are not, but there is a good news, it is not so, because mango is very resilient. I'll tell the story. As of now, mango production is as predictable as it is following the earlier trend of productivity, and also we will see a great production this year also. The only thing that has happened that people have been ripening them artificially, and then in the market mangoes come earlier than usual, but these mangoes do not taste the way they used to because they are ripened artificially. So wait for the crop to arrive seasonally, and then you can eat the tasty and delicious mangoes. We will also look at what kind of different mangoes we have in India, and you also can comment the favorite kind of mango in the comment section, and whatever mango is found in your area, you can comment that also. So the backdrop is that high temperatures and mango production is kindly related. In a way it is related, and it will come in the relevance of GS paper 3 in the agriculture, climate change and the impact of climate change on the agriculture horticulture sector. Alright, so this is the concern that people have been concerning, that okay, climate change will bring higher temperatures, and higher temperatures might lead to maybe reduce production or something. So we have seen that temperature have been 0.65% degree centigrade above average as per IMD in 2024, and over the past decade also we have seen that consistently temperature has been higher, and people are concerned about it, which I have discussed. But the good news is that the data says other story. The data is saying that 2001 to 2025 we have had 7.9 metric ton per hectare productivity of mangoes, and peak is reached around 2017-18, but it has been consistent around 7.9 metric ton per hectare. Further, we have seen that projected 2024-25 productivity is around 9.4 metric ton per hectare. That is higher than China and Thailand, which is a good news. And mangoes acreage also grew by 2.34% in 23-24, with production rising from 208 से 224 लाख टन पे चला गया है. याद रखिए प्रोडक्शन अलग चीज होता है और प्रोडक्टिविटी अलग चीज होता है. What is productivity? Productivity is measured per hectare. Per hectare. This is per hectare how much tonnage we are getting. But production is the overall total production. So what we are getting, 224 lakh ton projected production is there for 24-25. The productivity is in line and maybe higher than it is higher than everything else, Thailand or China. What major destination we have? Why mangoes are important? Because we are exporting them a lot. So we are exporting to UAE, UK, USA, Kuwait and Qatar. So Middle Eastern people eat a lot of Indian mangoes. Mango is native to India. Remember, UPSC is very much fond of asking which crop is native and not. They have asked tamarind, they have asked palm, they have asked banana, whether it is native to India or not. You comment in the comment section whether palm is native to India, banana is native to India, or the other tamarind is native to India or not. You comment. But mango is native to India and Southeast Asia, and the diversity in mangoes is given by India only. We have so many diverse mango varieties in India. We have Dasahri, we have Safeda, we have Langda, we have Gulab Khas, we have so much Totapuri and many. This map is not that accurate, but you can understand that so many diversities are there. Almost all states are growing different variety of mangoes. What is the climate that is needed for mangoes? UPSC also asked this question. They ask climate and soil conditions, so we will discuss quickly. So it thrives in various climatic conditions, but typically tropical and subtropical regions. Grows from sea level to 600 meter of height. It also has an ideal temperature around 24 to 30 degrees centigrade with high humidity during growth period. But during flowering and that period, it should not be rainy or foggy or cloud, because it hampers the growth of the mango. It can tolerate around 254 to 2540 mm of rain, but the ideal is around 900 or 1000 mm of rain. Poor flowering condition increases pest and disease risk. If the flowering is not good during November to February, if there is a cloud, rain, or let's say there is not clear weather, then it can lead to pest and other things. What is the soil? Variety of soils are allowed for mangoes to grow. It can have loamy, or it can be alluvial, sandy loam, laterite, or sandy. So different kinds of soil can be good for it, but at least it should have a deep 2.2 to 2.5 meter deep soil, well drained soil, aerated soil, rich in organic matter is favorable. You can imagine the bagans in Uttar Pradesh or in other parts of the country which have well drained soil, deep soil for mango grows, and pH can range from 5.5 to 7.5, and we usually avoid areas which have a higher table of water tables, because it needs some water. So table depth should be around 3 meter. UPSC can ask any of the question. What happens if heat stress is there? If heat stress is there, fruit drops early. It can have sun scalding, basically burnt fruit. It can have early ripening. It can have spongy tissue like Alfonso. And climate variability basically disrupts budding, fruit ripening, setting, making crop outcomes unpredictable. But mango is very resilient. Why? Because it has a lot of genetic diversity, which makes it to survive and counter a lot of climatic factors. If temperature is varying very fast, if there is lack of water, and many other things can be tolerated by mangoes. Okay, so this is there. So they have a lot of different physiological traits, and it survives the high temperature, droughts, and changing rainfall patterns for the mango. These genetic variations are inherent to mangoes. Now, if we are talking about genetic variations, then we will talk about the variations in the different type of mangoes. So we have Alfonso, Dasahri, Langda, Kesar. Alfonso is grown in Ratnagiri, Sindhudurg, in Maharashtra. In Uttar Pradesh, we have Dasahri. We have Banarasi, Bihar, Langda. We have in Gujarat, we have Kesar. We have Banganpalli from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. We have Himsagar from Murshidabad, Malda, West Bengal. Malda is there from West Bengal. We have Chausa, Totapuri, Amrapali, Lakshman Bhog, and Jardalu. All these are grown in Bihar, Andhra, and then Dasahri and Neelam ka hybrid hai ye, Amrapali. Then we have West Bengal and Bhagalpur. So remember the reason and remember the special quality mango. They are all juicy and all tasty. So no need to remember all this table. They are all good, but please associate different variety from different regions appropriately. And this data is also important that South Asia contributes around 48% of global mango production, out of which India is producing 41% of the global production, and Southeast Asia, the other part of the Southeast Asia, producing 16%, Africa produces 30%, Latin America produces 12%, and China is also producing a large, second largest producer is there. So India is a great contributor to mango production. Following this discussion, please try and attempt this question and submit your answers in the comment section, and also we will provide you the correct answer in the PDF attached to the video in the description. So download that also. Alright, so the second article is related to the Canadian elections. A very big turnaround has happened. Very surprising thing has happened in Canada, that the Liberal Party has won consecutively fourth term. And if I'm not wrong, then this is a record that Canadian history, people did not give chance to one political party for so many times. This has happened in the wake of Trump's assertion that Canada should become 51st state, and then he addressed the prime minister as a governor of a state, and he spoke about annexing Canada and all that, and the trade war that has happened, and the threats that has been posed by Trump to Canada. All this has led to the people of Canada discarding the Conservative Party and then giving again a chance to the Liberal Party. And this is a significant development. Why? Because the new elected Prime Minister has discarded the earlier Prime Minister, although they belong to the same party, but Trudeau's policy has been let go by the present Prime Minister elect, and that's a good sign, because India-Canada relations at one of the lowest point, because we do not have proper diplomatic relations. I believe the High Commissioner's office has been disbanded. So this is a good development for India-Canada relations. We will see how it pans out, because the new development will take place very soon. And right now, the important point is that what kind of political system is there in Canada, what kind of polity Canada basically have, and how much differences are there between India and Canada. That will be interest for you. So this is there, that new government is elected. So this is the backdrop, and it will be important for your GS paper 2, international relations, and the policies and changes happening in developing world, and the impact of them on India is directly written in your syllabus, will become important for you. The name of the new elected Prime Minister is Mark Carney from the Liberal Party. This Liberal Party is a sort of centrist party. They basically try to balance things out, and they have been re-elected. And what about the political system in Canada? So Canada is a constitutional monarchy. What is constitutional monarchy? Basically, they have a king, but that king is basically a nominal head, and the king is represented by a governor general. So remember our history. When you read about the independence movement, you hear about governors general. So the same governors general office is there in Canada, because Canada is part of the Commonwealth, and we were also part of it earlier, and New Zealand is also there, Australia is there, and many other countries are there. So Canada is still there. So, but Canada is an independent country, but they have the UK's king as their nominal head. Then Governor General is representing that king. Then we have this parliamentary form of government, similar to us. They have prime minister, the cabinet, and everything. Okay, so this is there, and prime minister is the head of the executive, and they also have first past the post system. What is first past the post system? Basically, two candidates or many candidates are fighting for a seat. If one candidate gets more votes than the next one, then that candidate is declared as a winner. We have constituencies. We call it Lok Sabha constituencies, or Rajya Sabha constituencies, or Vidhan Sabha constituencies. They call it riding. They have this riding similar to constituencies, and each riding has a member of parliament. So MP, just like we have MPs, their house is called House of Commons. We call it Lok Sabha. The party with the majority seats usually forms the government, just like in India. There are two houses. Bicameralism is there. One house is called House of Commons, the other is called Senate. But the Senate is different from our Rajya Sabha, because Senate has around 105 members. The House of Commons have 338. How many members are there in Indian Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha? You comment in the comment section. These are called MPs, and they are called senators. In India, we call MPs. Both of them are called MPs. Appointment method is different. Their governor general is appointing based out of prime minister's advice. We have indirect elections for Rajya Sabha elections, because Rajya Sabha represents states. The Canada have basically autonomous constituencies, but it is not similar to India. They differ. So we have provinces and territories. We have basically elections in different terms. Key political parties in Canada. This is a slight important topic, because you should understand the polity of different countries. So we have these different parties. One is Liberal, second is Conservative Party. We have this Quebec Party, and that is called Bloc Quebec, Quebecos, and then we have NDP, the extremist groups that are that are cause of concern for India, belongs to this party only. And then we have Green Party. The majority is gained by Liberal Party, and but they have not, I think, touched the absolute majority, because 172 seats are required. They only won 169, so they will seek support from other parties and form a minority government. If you understand what is minority government, the largest party that is there forming the government does not have the clear majority, so this is called minority form of government. Okay, so then we have a comparative table on India and Canada. So based out of system, they have constitutional monarchy, parliamentary democracy. We have a republic, that is head is elected president, so we have president elected, and parliamentary democracy is there, meaning that we have a council of minister that is responsible to the elected house, the Lok Sabha. So that's parliamentary form of government. They have monarch and governor general and represented. Head of government is the prime minister. We have prime minister. Legislature bicameral है, यहाँ भी bicameral है, but difference है थोड़ा सा. Electoral system FPTP है, उधर भी FPTP है. Major parties जो हैं liberal conservative, we have BJP, Congress and regional parties. Federal structure जो है provinces हैं autonomy के साथ, हमारे यहाँ states हैं. Then strong center जो है वो उधर से ही हमने लिया है. So we have adopted strong center from Canada only. Based out of this discussion, please try and attempt this question. We will jump to the next topic. Alright, so the next article is related to Digha's new Jagannath Puri temple, and it's not in Puri, it's Jagannath temple, and there have been some controversy, but that's not our interest. We are interested in the architecture and the style in which the temple is built, and the importance, the religious and cultural importance of that temple. So first and foremost, this new temple is of great significance, and because it is establishing a new era in the architectural regime of India, because this continuous tradition of building temples of different art and architecture has been there since long, thousands and thousands of years. So now we are continuing with that. So Digha is in West Bengal. Remember that. It can be asked as a question. It comes in your art and culture GS paper 1. So what is the profile of this temple? It is a 213 foot tall temple at Digha, designed a replica of 12th century Puri Jagannath temple. Imagine 12th century, it is so old. Now we have made a new replica of it. It is built in Kalingan architectural style. So we have a Kalinga style architecture. You know what is Kalinga? Kalinga is the same Ashoka and Ashoka's Kalinga war. The same area is called Kalingan architectural style. So like the Puri temple also, it is dedicated to Lord Jagannath, Lord Balbhadra, Lord Subhra, Goddess Subhra and Goddess Mahalakshmi. Digha is somewhere around 350 from Puri. It is close to Calcutta and other places. It is, I think, closest to one of the, I think, cities from West Bengal. And temple has been built by HIDCO from there only. The controversy is this, that many groups, servitor groups, the people who are serving at the Lord Jagannath's temple, such as Saur, Mahasaur Nijog, and then we have this Puspalak Nijog, who is basically giving them food and let's say serving for food and then clothes. They have put some notices that the slogans like, there have been some slogans like, if I can read clearly, no need to go to Puri to see Jagannath Dham and see, and then Jagannath Dham is here now. Such kind of slogans have been used to promote the new Jagannath temple, and they are protesting against it. So there is a little controversy as reported by the newspapers. So this controversy is not that of that interest, but we should look at what this Jagannath Puri temple is all about, and we will see that there is a great interesting story that at this temple in this area, because of the presence of Lord Jagannath, the Yama is basically nullified. Basically the god of death cannot come there and seek death. So this is very significant. In Puri, the death is nullified. It is called Yamanika Tirth. Okay, then यमनिक, अगर हिंदी में बात करें तो यमनिक तीर्थ बोलेंगे इसे, ठीक है. ये 4 धामों में से एक धाम में आता है. कौन से 4 धाम? पुरी, द्वारिका, बद्रीनाथ एंड रामेश्वरम. सो इन 4 धामों में से एक आता है. इसका नाम व्हाइट पगोड़ा भी कहा जाता है. इट इज़ ऑल्सो कॉल्ड व्हाइट पगोड़ा. ओके, This can be asked by UPSC also. It is dedicated to Jagannath, Subhadra and Balabhadra, and there is a chariot festival. The English word Juggernaut comes from Jagannath only, because there is a great chariot which moves, taken DT from one place to another. There is a transfer of DTs and change of DT take place periodically. And very interesting thing is that this Vihil Sawar is there, who basically act as a priest. Very unique tribal tradition infused in Indian Hindu tradition. So very unique basically tradition is there. And also the deities are built out of wood rather than stone. So we have this unique feature that wood is used to carve out deities, and we have this Navakalevar rituals in which every 8, 12 and 19 years we change the deities. New deities come and the old one goes. So that is there. Then we have various bhakti movement saints associated with Puri. We have Ramanujachar, we have Madhavachar, Nimbakachar, we have Ballabhachar and Ramanand. Those have been connected with Puri. We see Gaudiya Vaishnavism, very popular in West Bengal, by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is also associated with Jagannath Puri temple. And then we have Ramanuja's MR Mutt, basically nearby, basically in the Puri temple. Near Puri temple we have this Mutt also there, Govardhan Mutt, founded by Shankaracharya. Adi Shankaracharya founded the Govardhan Mutt, and MR Mutt founded by the Ramanuja are there. Then we have architectural features of this temple. So this is built in Kalingan style. It has Kurum Ved and Meghnad Pachira. Basically walls are there, concentric walls are there around this temple. Then in this temple also has 4 gates, one from east, one from west, one from south and one from the north. So we have these names: Singhadwar from the east, then we have Southern Dwar as a Ashwadwar, then we have Western as a Vyaghra Dwar, and then we have Northern Hasti Dwar. All these dwars are there. Then we have this Singhadwar as a main dwar, and we have this Arun Stambh that is situated in front of the Singhadwar, and we have Neel Chakra. Neel Chakra is that this chakra you can notice at the above the temple. This is Ashtadhatu Chakra that is established. We have this flag, and then we have other things. It is made out of 8 metals, remember. We have 2 festivals, that is Devasnan festival, and then we have chariot festival, that is the Rath, Jagannath Rath Yatra. So we have these 2 festivals going on there. In Devasnan, the Devas take a snan out of holy waters from the well in the temple, and then chariot festival, the exchange of deities take place. So based out of this discussion, please try and attempt this question. Submit your answers in the comment section, and also you can find the correct answer from the PDF that we have attached to the. Alright, so the next article related to the launch by Amazon, and they are trying to bring broadband to you through satellites. Just like Starlink, Amazon has launched Kuiper, a satellite system. So we will have 2 of them competing together, and we may possibly have lower costs. Starlink is recently trying to come to India because there are a lot of legal and territorial constraints on these satellite systems, and Amazon has jumped the gun and it has launched this its own. And we have OneWeb also that is also going on. So we have 3 players now. So it is important that we remember them. So recently this Kuiper internet satellite constellation has been launched. There has to be 3,200 satellites. Recently some have been launched. So it comes in GS3 Science and Technology. United Launch Alliance is there, and then Atlas V rocket is there. So these 2 things you have to remember: United Alliance Launch Alliance, and then satellite Atlas V rocket. They have launched around 27 of these satellites in the named as Kuiper satellites. Remember, there is a Kuiper belt. This Kuiper belt is basically outside our solar system, where a lot of debris is there. So that is called Kuiper belt, and Pluto knows Kuiper belt very well than anybody else, because this belt only led to poor Pluto's dethroning from the the throne of being a planet. So Kuiper belt is there. Remember, on that this has been named because Kuiper belt is made of a lot of objects revolving around the solar system. So similar to that, the Earth will have a lot of objects. So that's why they have linked it. Okay, they have named it. So once released in orbit, it will be around 630 kilometers. That is LEO. So in LEO it will be there. and Blue Origin, the company, the name of the company is Blue Origin. Blue Origin, why they call it Blue Origin? Because we are a blue dot in the whole universe, and the satellite is named as Blue Origin. The rocket is named as Blue Origin, or the company name is Blue Origin. So remember, Blue Origin. That's why they have named it Blue Origin. So there will be around 3,200 satellite, and they will be providing affordable broadband service around the world. So what is this space-based internet? Basically, we are trying to provide internet through satellites. There are two kinds of space-based internet system. One provided by low Earth orbit satellites, very small satellites, a lot of satellites launched in a mesh of constellations working together, and then they send signals to maybe stations or your privately to your antenna, and then you can directly connect to a low latency, high speed internet in any area, irrespective of whether climate is there and any other condition. So we have three things, three basically companies that are doing it: Starlink, OneWeb M, and Amazon Kuiper. So this is in under development. These two have greater success regarding that. What is the working of this system? As I have explained, there is a satellite constellation in the low Earth orbit, and it works simultaneously with thousands of satellites working together to the ground, ground or let's say private relay. Then we have this mesh-like system which I have explained, and we have ground station and user access. What is the advantage? It is a high-speed system, low latency, and it can provide you internet service to everywhere, to remote areas also, to people who do not have access. So it can bridge the internet gap. Recently, Supreme Court, rather today only, Supreme Court has said that access to digital infrastructure, or let's say access to digital services, is a fundamental right, because certain member of let's say citizenry, they were affected by the acid attack, and they could not access the KYC system because the systems are not recognizing their facial features. Tragic incidents that happen in India, and regarding that PILs were filed, and Supreme Court has said that under right to life, right to access to digital things are fundamental rights. So regarding that, this initiative, you can connect that, okay, the satellite systems are fulfilling that gap in the infrastructure, especially in the rural area or the remote areas. So there are two types. One is LEO. In LEO, we launch around 180 to 2000 kilometers. We launch a lot of small satellites, and they provide a faster and lower latency internet. But there is another that is called the geo satellite, that is geostationary satellite, in which we install a satellite around 35,000 kilometers, and then they provide a continuous wide area network satellite system to a country, because they remain relatively constant at one place, because they follow the Earth rotational speed. So that is another. They usually used as a satellite system, or let's say a internet provider for a high density population area in a larger area, in contrast to the low Earth orbit satellite system. So what is the role of the ISRO? ISRO has launched GSAT satellite, geostationary satellites. They provide internet services, but we do not have a low Earth orbit satellite system. We might launch a new, but private sector like SpaceX and OneWeb and now Amazon, they have been looking for providing these kind of services to India also. But there are certain limitations. First of all, so many satellites have been launched, so they create a lot of space debris, and the cost is very high. And the internet that we get is also very costly, because we have to have a system that is in itself costly. For example, the Teslas, or let's say the SpaceX, costs around $200 just to set up, and then it costs around $120 or $100 per month to get access to that internet. So it is very costly, and latency issue is also there, because it cannot be as fast as wired connection or the fiber optic connection. So it has latency is there, and geostationary is more giving latency than the LEO satellites, but they are costly. Majorly they are costly. There is a lot of environmental cost, because a lot of satellites have to be launched, and a lot of environmental constraint is there. In some areas still cannot have access to the satellite system, because it depends whether the satellite is visible or not. And regulatory measures are also a concern, because many territorial areas do not allow or permit, because of some spoofing, or let's say some remote sensing issues are there, that they can spy on it. So there are a lot of concerns. Then there is a little news about Axiom Mission 4. This Axiom mission is basically a privately funded mission for the International Space Station. We will be sending some astronauts, and one of the group captain, Subhanshu Shukla, will be going there as a lead captain for this mission, and he is an Indian. He is also assigned to the Gaganyaan mission. This Gaganyaan mission is one of our first mission to be launched, launching humans in the space, and we will have by 2035 as our own international space station named as Bharatiya Antariksh Station BAS by 2035 by ISRO. So based on this discussion, try and attempt this question. We will jump to the last article in the main section, that is the intellectual property issue, because US has put India into a watch list. This watch list is basically released by the trade representatives of US, and they release a special report on which they look after certain countries which do not have intellectual property rights the way US wants. India is TRIPS compliance, don't get it wrong. What is TRIPS? We will discuss it. India is basically following the international standards, but US wants very special standards to be followed by these countries. So we have been put on this watch list. Incidentally, India has extended the most favored nation status to US today only. So these two different contrasting events have took place. We will discuss about it. It comes in your GS3, the IPR policy, and then backdrop is, I have discussed, 301 report is there that has been released by US. So there have been mains question. This question was there that you explain how in a globalized world IPR assumes significance and are a source of litigations, and they asked on that. It came in 2014. In that regard, we will discuss this topic. So why we were listed? There are different reasons why we were listed because US consider India as one of the most challenging economies to deal with, or let's say protect intellectual property rights. Despite we have some positive development like public awareness about India-US dialogue and long-standing concerns, but these things are persisting. So USTR special report, 301 report has come out. The US is saying that we have certain concerns. For example, they have risk of patent revocations concern, and they have this procedural discretion regarding India's Patent Act. They say that okay, India has a lot of discretion following these patents. For example, Indian government can issue patent right to a certain company in order to produce certain cheap medicines. That is a major concern. And then we have delays in granting patents. Also, we have burdensome reporting requirements. All these red tapeism basically is there in the patent area. So further, they are alleging that we have vague interpretation of our patent acts. Depending on the situation, we will interpret in a different manner. And they also say that we have high customs duties on the IP intensive product. For example, certain products, if they are basically for example, medical device, solar equipments, if they are having high IP intellectual property issue going on, then we will have a higher customs. And also we have weak enforcement mechanism despite having improvement in the IP office procedures. What is India's stand? India is saying that okay, we are TRIPS compliance. We do not have different things than TRIPS because we have amended our Patent Act very frequently, and then we have become compliant. And also India says that this report is very unilateral and it is basically representing the view of the of the US companies, not the legal reality of the international law. So that is our stance. In context of India's trade, that we are trying to achieve around $500 billion trade with USA, and also we have ongoing trade treaty discussions. Recently, US representative only said that we will have first trade from India, trade policy with India only after all Trump's election and all this tariff war. So that is there. In that context, this report is very significant. In globally, if we talk about, then 8 countries has put into the same list. China, Indonesia, Russia, Argentina, Venezuela and India have been put in this list only, but 25 countries are on the lower tier list, including Pakistan and Turkey. Now, let us discuss basics. What are IPR? Basically, intellectual property rights as defined by WTO are the rights given to individuals or entities for their creations and their mindful activity that they have created, unique things they have created. We give them a right that nobody can copy them. Why we do that? We do that in order to promote innovation and promote creativity, new things. That's why we give it. We give it to limited time period. It cannot be for indefinite time period, it is always limited. For example, it is limited for 20 years for patents and life plus 50 to 60 years for the copyright. Now, what is this copyright and what is this patent? So copyrights are are rights given to the literary works. For example, books, music, paintings, films, computer programs. This is copyright. This also includes performers' right. For example, actors, singers, musicians. It also has producers of sound like phonograms. It has broadcasting organizations into it. So all these things are copyrights. Purpose is to encourage and reward creative work. And typical rights are given to the lifetime of the author or the creator and the 50 to 60 years extended after the lifetime. What is the intellectual or let's say industrial property? We have trademarks. Trademarks are basically, for example, we have trademarks like Parley, or all these trademarks are there, the name of the brand. So it is given to the to distinguish one brand from the another, because biscuits are created by many companies, but trademarks are there to distinguish them. Then we have GI tags. These are basically given to products from specific geographies, and when they maintain the uniqueness of this product. For example, Darjeeling tea is there. Then we have this term for these products. They are renewable as long as they maintain their uniqueness. Then we have innovation and design kind of intellectual property rights. For example, we have patents. Patents basically are given for 20 years. They are for inventions in the industrial area. Then we have industrial designs. They are basically protected for certain long period of time. For example, in India, they are roughly protected for 5 years. They are basically visual designs. For example, a car is there that can be protected, a design can be protected. Then we have trade secrets. These are not registered. These are protected very differently. They are kept secret. And then if somebody can reveals them, then we have remedies for that. Then the purpose is basically to incentivize R&D and other things. We have different acts in India that are protecting different kind of basically products. So patents, trademark, copyright, GI, industrial design, and there are bodies that are protecting. Very important. UPSC can ask who protects copyright. So then we have Copyright Office, Ministry of Education. Who protect industrial design? Then we have CGPDTM. Then we have PPR, FR Authority for plant varieties. All these things are there. Okay, so remember these organizations for different areas in the acts that are there. Remember, we do not have any act for trade secrets. Okay, then we have these different things that are protected in different kinds of areas. For example, patents are protected by protecting inventions. Criteria is novelty should be there, inventive steps should be there, industrial application should be there. We give 20 years for such products. So we have different things. Trademarks are protected indefinitely as long as they keep on their innovative ideas. Layout design are protected for 10 years. Then we have trees on vines for 18 years, extend variety. We have protection of plants varieties and farmers' rights. We have all these things going on. What institutional framework is there? Important institution is CGPDTM under DPIIT, Ministry of Commerce. We have this we had this appellate board, but abolished in 2021. Now high courts are there that are protecting these rights. The UPSC has already asked a question from here. We have National IPR policy, which is promoting creative India and innovative India. We have emphasis on awareness, enforcement, commercialization, innovation. So all these can be used as a counter arguments when US says that we have very difficult IPR protection. So you can use all these institutional frameworks. You can use that we have different acts. You can have all these things as an argument against this allegation. And then we have international compliance also. We are TRIPS compliant. We are member of WTO, Paris Convention, Berne Convention, Madrid Protocol about trademarks, then patents, Budapest Treaty. Then we have UPOV. This is regarding plants, unique plant variety. We have this observer status also. Also, what is TRIPS? We will study about TRIPS in brief. It is a comprehensive international legal document under WTO that protects all these intellectual property rights. This was signed in 1995 after Uruguay round of negotiations. This establishes minimum standards, and we are also TRIPS compliant. So we have copied these minimum standards because we have modified our Patents Act many times. Okay, then it covers all these trademarks, copyright, GI tags, industrial rights, patent, layout, design, and undisclosed information, trade secrets. Indian TRIPS, basically we are TRIPS compliance. We have amended our Patent Act, and Indian regime includes this safeguards. And there is this thing called TRIPS flexibilities. This is very important to know, very important for you to know, because in this only US has concern, because TRIPS provides certain flexibility to countries to have their own intellectual property right. Following that, we have created certain things. For example, we have created section 3D of the Patent Act, it says that we can basically not allow evergreening. What is this evergreening? What is this evergreening? So this term greening is very important, because whitewashing, greenwashing, UPSC has asked. What is greenwashing? Greenwashing is, you have seen those soaps and different products, hair products, cream products, that package things in green and saying that it is environment friendly and green, natural. So that's called greenwashing. People pretending that it is a green product, it is not. Similarly, evergreening is there. Evergreening is what? All these big pharma companies or medicine companies, what they do is they create a medicine, they propagate it, they sell it at a costly prices for 20 years, because for 20 years they have patented. Then what they do, they basically give funds to doctors to let go that medicine from the market, and then they tweak the patent in a slight manner and then come up with a new medicine. This is called evergreening. So evergreening is prevented in India by law, that you cannot do evergreening. This is a problem for big pharma in USA. USA is suffering from a lot of big pharma companies that are lobbying for such a law that they can do evergreening and have costly medicines. Then we have compulsory licensing, that government give license to other companies without consent from the original patenter, that you produce generic drugs and you compete and you give cheap quality drugs. And then parallel imports are there, that if certain area is producing certain cheap generic drug on the same patented drug, then we can import from there. So these are creating a lot of problems to US. Then we have US position. So US is only saying that we want TRIPS plus. Basically TRIPS से आगे बढ़ के हमें protection दीजिए, but we are not doing it. We are following the flexibility. That's the major concern. So US is basically demanding that. So read this question and then try and attempt this question. We will meet again in the next session of DNA. Please like, share and subscribe to this channel, and please share this video to your friends. All right, goodbye.